death that the promise he or she made to Nicholas would forever be kept. He had tested variants of the cure on so many cranks that he had lost count. Of course, somewhere hidden in the journals of his library were the observational notes, the number of experiments and trials that attempted to prove his hypothesis right time and time again, that DNA changes from the flare could be reversed, and that the same cure that erased the flare could unlock a multitude of dormant DNA in the human body. Dead-end genomes that scientists had called junk DNA for centuries in their scholarly journals. Nicholas tried to hold back his smile, thinking of the discovery, but how could something so monumental as evolution not make him feel like a god? But it was a fleeting feeling, to be sure. Click-clack. He circled the two syringes together as he watched the cranks before him. A failed experiment was a failed experiment. Successes were only temporary. He reported back to the villa what they needed to change in the next batch. Side effects, advanced symptoms, deaths. Most deaths happened naturally. Not everyone's DNA was reprogrammable, and not everyone's body could take the cure. Death was a natural part of scientific advancements, even those deliberately caused by the advancer, as when Nicholas's last crank subject shouted about the cure within the walls of Crank Palace and put Nicholas's life in danger. "I'm turning back! My hands! Look! He's cured me! This man is a god!" The cure itself was at risk as soon as one muttered of its existence. The crank had promised to stay silent and obedient, but as soon as his life became his own again, he betrayed his own thoughts, and Nicholas had to end the life he brought back that night. Easy come, easy go, you might say. Nicholas wanted to test on someone past the gone, someone easier to influence, manipulate, control. Nicholas wandered toward an alley behind the West Side buildings as it started to rain, and he squinted at the sight of a crank on the ground with limbs as limp as a butchered deer. But huddled over the crank sat another, and Nicholas couldn't test on two subjects at once. He tightened the hood of his robe again, but the falling rain enhanced his telepathy, and he couldn't help but overhear the woman's thoughts. "I'd take this pain from you if I could. I wish I was infected with this, not you." Nicholas stopped walking and looked on from the shadows of the alley. Why the hell was someone healthy inside Crank Palace? Nicholas wasn't infected, but his presence would be swift and purposeful. This figure in front of him seemed to be mourning her long-lost love. Had she no fear of the flare? The only reason Nicholas proved fearless was because he had been a test subject of his own unique study, something the villa knew nothing about. Using one of the variants as a preventative, Nicholas knew it couldn't harm him with the flare, but might just protect him from it. What he didn't expect were the powerful side effects, weird and frightening things like telepathy. Human DNA was a funny thing. For a crank, it was about healing. For the non-infected, the cure resequenced DNA structures that had been left abandoned in mankind, opening new pathways and abilities whose potential had been lost or never discovered, like clicking in the last pieces of a puzzle. But Nicholas's gift of telepathy was also his curse. He could trust no one. "Can you help us?" asked the voice huddled over the crank, writhing in pain. Nicholas read her mind again. Please say you can help us." He suddenly felt naked, as though she could see right through his cloak to his hand that held the cure. "Help us," she spoke with an unwarranted confidence. Nicholas was drawn to her assuredness, her fearlessness. He walked from the shadows, closer. "What makes you think I can help you?" "Because you're not infected. I can tell you're different." Nicholas danced with her thoughts again as the rain came down harder. "And why do you think that?" he responded.